Pokemon Legends ZA gets a release date, pricing, and we're getting a Pokemon Presents in July. And the date that this is coming out is a big indicator of what Nintendo Switch and Nintendo might have in store for this holiday season game-wise. Let's get into this. Alright, so over on Nintendo Life, they graciously put all this information right at our fingertips so we don't have to go hunt and peck for all the different things here. So, the cost in the US for the Nintendo Switch version of Pokemon Legends ZA, I can't talk. This is like the 10th time I've tried to make this video. For the Nintendo Switch version, it's going to retail for $60, so $59.99 typically. And then for the Switch 2 version, it's going to be $70. So you are getting that $10 difference. My only complaint so far is with the Switch 2 physical versions is that there's got all this wording on the bottom of the packaging, like the box art, and it kind of ruins the box art. Honestly, it's like you got the huge banner on top that says Switch 2, so there's no confusion for parents, and it's bright red. And then you have all this crappy wording, and it's only for the Switch 2 edition of Switch 1 games. So there is that. And good news is that the Switch 2 edition is on the card. It's not a key card, there's no download, which means that years from now when you want to play it on the Switch 3, if the Switch 3 has a cartridge slot, you'll be able to pop it in and play it. You won't have to go online and download anything. So there'll be a version of the game on the cartridge, without any updates. So that's really good news. So a lot of us were wondering if Pokemon would also go the keycard route, but since it's kind of somewhat owned by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, it's nice to know that those games will also be on the cartridge. At least the base game. Any DLC that comes out will obviously have to be downloaded later. Alright, so with that being said, that means there's going to be a $10 upgrade if you buy the Switch version later on and you want to play it on there. But by the time you get a Switch 2, you'll probably be ready for Gen 10. So the fact that this game is $70 on the Switch 2 makes me believe that they might try to go for two different versions for $70 to $80 for Gen 10 Pokemon. This was the first video I made on this channel, is that Gen 10 Pokemon, or the next Pokemon, I think it's Gen 10, is going to be expensive. And it could be the first time in franchise history where I don't get both versions. Typically, I'll end up buying both versions. My brother will buy both versions, even though now it's not really tied to the cartridge. It's just tied to a save file. So technically, we could each buy one and then just trade off when we're done and do it that way. But I know my brother's been like my Pokemon buddy since I was a little kid. He plays one version, I play the other. We trade the exclusives, and we have a lot of fun doing that. Otherwise, you're sitting there playing forever, two different versions of the game, trying to get all your Pokemon up to snuff, and it's a kind of a grind. So that's really cool. And then we also have a Pokemon Presents coming in July, on July 22nd. And the fact that the game is releasing in October, which usually Pokemon releases in, November, right before Black Friday. I wonder what the November game is then. Is it going to be Metroid Prime 4? Is it going to be that new Zelda, like Hyrule Warriors style game? The name escapes me right now. I'm having a brain fart. Or is it going to be something else that we don't know about yet? Because there is a rumored Nintendo Direct supposed to be happening the same week or the same month as the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, which would be absolutely crazy. All these games coming out so close to each other, because we got Mario Kart World day one, and then all the games that are getting upgrades day one, all the old games, like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, that's going to be like a whole new game on the system. If you haven't played that yet, holy crap, you're in for a treat with the upgrades. Even though it performed like crap, it was still fun to play. And then Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, I did not buy that. I was waiting for the Switch 2 version. I'm glad I did, because now I'm going to get an awesome upgraded Switch 2 version. So there's that to play. So if you've been holding out or didn't buy the Switch, the last Switch console, there's going to be a lot of stuff to play. Not to mention the new stuff. And then a month later, we're getting Donkey Kong, which I'm super hyped about. Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's like Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, a video I made on this channel. It's kind of like a spiritual successor to that, but Nintendo-fied. So it has all the Nintendo-ness to it. So, you know, the fun, quirky stuff. So that's probably my most anticipated first-party game, even over Pokemon. And Pokemon's my favorite Nintendo franchise. So there is that. And then we got Metroid. Is Metroid coming out in August? Or is it coming out September? Or is it coming out in November? Because with Pokemon in October, and Borderlands, don't forget, I know it's not first party, but Borderlands is coming out, I believe, in September. You don't want to have Metroid Prime and a shooter competing with each other on the same platform, especially if they're not trying to scare off third-party developers. I mean, they're going to want Borderlands to sell on the system. I wonder if that's why they moved up Borderlands to September, so that they could push back Metroid to November or December. Do we get to 2026 in January and Metroid Prime 4 still hasn't come out, and it's like the early year game for next year? It still says 2025, but they got so much crap coming out for the rest of the year, they might as well. I mean, I shout outs to Rule of Two Review, who loves Metroid. He'd probably be devastated if they pushed it to 2026, but I mean, who knows? They're cramming a lot of first-party games and a lot of third-party games in the next 6 months. There's going to be plenty to play on the system. So anyway, I'm super hyped about the new Pokemon coming out in October, because that's my birthday month. And so I believe that is it for the information for the Pokemon. That's pretty cool. I'm actually really excited about that. Sound off the comments below. Are you ready for the new Pokemon game? And are you ready for Gen 10 next year? It's going to be crazy, man. Sound off the comments below. Thank you for watching, and stay frosty.